Hello everyone and welcome to Big Rock Moto. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I really appreciate that. I just have two favors as we get started. One, whenever you're shopping for parts and gear, including potentially these Tusk Panniers, please use my affiliate links. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, I would really appreciate your subscription. That means a lot to me. All right, so these are the brand new Tusk Frontier Panniers. They're new hard pannier motorcycle luggage from Tusk. Now, some disclaimers as I start this video out. One, I did receive these bags free of charge, and two, I do earn commissions if you use my affiliate links. Also, I want to mention that this is not to be considered a long-term review. This is a new product, and I've only been able to test it for about the past month. Now, deciding between soft luggage and hard luggage can be pretty difficult, and it depends on what adventure riding means to you and how you're using your motorcycle and your luggage. So here's some questions I think you can consider when deciding if hard bags may be a good choice for you. Do you mostly tour on paved or gravel roads? If the answer is yes, then hard bags might work for you. Do you tour with a passenger and do you need a lot of luggage space? If so, bags like this might make more sense. Do you often park in areas where the security of your belongings is a big issue? Urban areas and things like that. If so, the increased, security from being able to lock your stuff inside a hard bag like this could be something that you really need. Do you ride aggressively on difficult off-road trails fairly often? If you answer yes to that, then I would tell you that you probably need to be looking more at soft luggage. So speaking of the downsides to hard bags, this may seem a bit obvious, but I think a lot of people are still using hard luggage, and it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people. But there are some potential downsides to hard bags. They can be wider, and in some cases they can be heavier than soft luggage, although actually, I'll talk about this in a minute, I found these to not weigh any more than the soft bags that I have here for testing. These can be more susceptible to damage from dropping your bike or crashing your bike, and when that damage happens, sometimes it could interfere with remounting the bags on the pannier racks. It could also interfere with the waterproofing and the lids of the panniers closing correctly. Another downside to hard bags is they won't deflect, they don't have any give if you hit a tree branch or a tree or some other obstacle when you're off-roading, or even in town in a city. They don't have that absorption to deflect off things, so they can be a little bit more susceptible to damage or more susceptible to causing issues because of that. Also, hard bags can potentially be a danger to your legs and your ankles in difficult off-road situations where maybe you're paddling the bike through some rocks or sand or something like that, and your leg gets swept backwards and gets caught under this or makes impact with this. It can potentially be a source of injuries. So if you're listening to all this and you're still thinking that you probably want to go with soft luggage, I do have some really good recommendations for great soft panniers and rackless soft bag systems, and I will link those down below. Many of them are available from the same company, Mountain ATV MC, through their Tusk line and other brands that they have. They're very good quality and very affordably priced, and I also have a lot of videos on YouTube about those. Now, what are the benefits to using hard luggage? Well, for me, the biggest benefit that I've seen, I've been doing adventure riding for, I guess, over 20 years now. The biggest benefit is they're super convenient to get in and out of, super easy to get in and out of. I'm in the bag, right? There's no straps. I love how these latches, listen to that latch. It's just a satisfying mechanical click. Very well made stuff here. So getting back to what I was saying, they're very easy to get in and out of. Another huge benefit is you have a lot more security for your belongings. If you have valuable stuff inside, if you're in urban areas where you might have theft, then this is really, really nice to have. These also tend to have more capacity than soft bags of sort of similar size, just they make very good use of their space. They're super easy to pack, as we've talked about before. And you can also take these off the bike and use them as a chair around camp to sit on if that's something that you need. So let me give you sort of the product overview of the new Tusk Frontier Panniers. So these are a 38-liter top opening aluminum pannier made with 11 gauge or 2.3 millimeter thick aluminum. They have a dual hinge design. They have polymer corner guards. They have a soft touch interior lining. You can mount these to almost any rack, but they're also compatible with the Tusk quick release system using the Tusk racks. Now, for carrying capacity, they're rated for 22 pounds or 10 kilograms each. And we'll talk about the weight more in a second, but the weight of each bag empty is around 15 pounds. Now, we should talk about compatibility with different racks. So technically speaking, you can mount these and you can get the mounting kit that's universal to mount to almost any tubular pannier rack out there. However, I'm going to highly recommend you pick up the Tusk pannier racks specific to your motorcycle. The reason I recommend that is then you will be able to have this really slick, really nice working quick release system. So I highly recommend consider that. Also, what you're going to get if you go with the setup is you're going to be able to lock the panniers to the rack with the use of an included thumb screw security device that goes on inside the pannier bag, which people can't get to, so then somebody can't walk up and just take the bag off the bike. I don't know if we mentioned pricing yet, but the Frontier Panniers are $600 for a set for both of them, and then the pannier racks for your bike typically are going to be around, from Tusk, they're pretty reasonable, $200, maybe $300. So you're probably looking at that $800, around the $800 price point to get a full luggage setup with the pannier racks for your bike, and I think that's a really, really good deal. Now, I mentioned I want to compare the weight of these bags to some other bags out there. It's kind of natural to think, and I thought that being a metal bag, they're going to be a lot heavier than other soft luggage options. However, in the garage, I weighed the Lone Rider Moto bags, which are a semi-rigid soft bag. They weighed 15 pounds each empty, which is the same weight as these. Then I weighed a Moto Backcountry 35 pannier, which again is a soft motorcycle pannier, and that weighed 15 pounds with the mounting hardware. So in fact, these, although they look heavy, they're actually not heavier than a comparable sort of those sturdier soft luggage options that you have out there. Now, talking about a price comparison, the reason these are such an incredible deal is when you look at the competition. So these, again, are $600 for a set. Moto Backcountry Panniers are $1,275 for a set of soft bags. Touratech Zega, they make the Zega panniers, which look very similar to this and function very similar to this. Then they're a very nice bag. I've used those before. They are around $2,000 for a set of those. GV Outback panniers are $1,000, one of the better options out there, but still $400 more than these. Lone Rider Moto panniers, I have a video on those on my channel. I like those bags a lot, but they're $2,000 for a set. sw-motech tracks, again, great luggage. $1,200 though for a set of those. Now, there is one hard luggage option that's cheaper than these, and it's also from Tusk, which is the old school, I'm calling it old school, but the previous version of their aluminum pannier bags. You can get a set of those now for $300. Now, they don't have the features of these, the handles, the cool design of everything, like the soft interior lining. They don't have also the shape and the rounded corners and all that. So they're a budget option, just kind of a basic hard bag, but for $300, that's incredible. And I'll link those down here below as well. All right, what are some pros and cons to me that stand out on the Tusk Frontier? For me, the pros are the appearance. They look really nice and high-end. The function of them, everything from how the lids come off, you can hinge them on either side without having to change anything. You can pull the whole lid off. The loops and things, you have a lot of options to tie things down. The plastic guards they have on all the corners, because you know they're going to get beat up over time, so having those plastic guards is really, really nice. I like the soft interior, kind of almost velvet lining, because it protects your belongings from getting kind of marred up and beaten around inside, contacting the metal, so you don't have your belongings contacting metal inside. And finally, I like how Tusk gives you the option of the quick release mounting system if you get the Tusk racks. To me, that's one of the best things about this, because you can get a set of these and you can use them on more touring oriented trips. But then if you want to switch out for a soft bag, like a Tusk Olympus, which also has the same quick release, which will go on the same rack. You could get a Tusk Pilot. You could get any other number of bags. You can pull these off in a couple seconds, throw on soft luggage if you're doing an off-road trip, and then you have both options. So I think it's a really, really great setup. Now, is there anything I'd like to see improved on these bags? The only two thoughts I have for improvements. One is the way that the bags will lock to the rack, so the security device is that thumb screw that goes in from the inside. That works fine. But I'm thinking, okay, what if you mount these to a different kind of pannier rack that's out there, not the Tusk rack? How are you going to lock them to the rack? I haven't figured out although I'm sure some smart people have figured out how to do that. The other suggestion I would have for these bags is that, you know, over time, and if you're really, really hard on the bags and you crash them a lot, you're going to deform the lids, and probably the waterproof seal here between the lid and the bag is eventually not going to be totally waterproof anymore. This is the case with all hard panniers. So what I like to see is some bags now come with a waterproof interior liner bag that protects your belongings, just gives you that extra layer of waterproofing in case the waterproof seal on the bag is ever compromised. So maybe that's something that Tusk could offer as an accessory down the road, or maybe they're already bringing that out, I don't know, but that would be something I'd like to see. All right, so this video should be pretty short and sweet, but I wanted to bring you this new luggage option. I normally don't do these standalone product videos just for a single product, but a lot of people are buying motorcycle luggage. It's an important decision point. These are a brand new product in the market that I think, compared to the competition, which is sort of a high-end aluminum pannier setup, the price point on these is unbelievably good, and it really, really gives you an amazing value. So I wanted to bring you guys this review video. If you have questions for me, put those down below. If you're going to buy them, please use my affiliate links. I would really appreciate that. Beyond that, thank you for watching. Ride safe. I'll see you out there.